Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to walk you through Session Logger, a structured logging plugin for Unreal Engine 5. When you're developing a game, you often need to record data. Player actions, game state, performance metrics, errors, anything you might want to analyze later. Unreal Engine has its own logging system, but it outputs plain text in a format that's difficult to parse programmatically and mixed in with the engine's own diagnostic output. Session Logger solves this by writing clean, structured JSON directly to a file on disk. Every log entry is a self-contained JSON object on its own line, a format called JSONL. This means you can open it in any text editor, import it into Excel, query it with Python, or feed it into any analytics tool, with no transformation needed. It's entirely blueprint compatible, has no external dependencies, and works in both the editor and packaged shipping builds. Let's get started. I've created a blank C++ project here. Let's head to the Plugins tab to confirm Session Logger is enabled. As you can see, Session Logger is enabled and ready to go. No additional setup required. The plugin has no third-party dependencies, so there's nothing else to install. Now let's open the project settings and navigate to Plugins, Session Logger. This is where you configure everything. In the File Settings section, you can set where your log files are saved and what they're called. By default, logs go into your project's saved/logs folder with the project name as the file name. You can change these to any path you like. In the Retention and Rotation section, you can set a maximum file size. Once your log file exceeds this limit, it gets automatically renamed to a timestamped archive and a fresh file starts. This prevents your log files from growing indefinitely. Rotate on startup does the same check when your game first launches. Retention days controls how long archived log files are kept before being automatically deleted. The default is 7 days. Cleanup interval controls how often this housekeeping runs in the background. Echo to output log mirrors every log entry to the Unreal output log with color coding. Info is white, warning is yellow, error is red. Useful during development. I have the level blueprint open. The first thing we need to do is get a reference to the Session Logger subsystem and initialize it. Right-click and search for Get Logger Subsystem. This gives us a reference to the subsystem. Drag off it and call init logger to initialize it. In a real project, I'd recommend doing this in a custom game instance so the logger is ready as early as possible. For demo purposes, I'm doing it here in the level blueprint. I'm adding a short delay here to give the subsystem time to initialize before we start logging. In a production setup, you'd use a timer handle with an event dispatcher instead, but for this demo, a simple delay works fine. Now, let me quickly run through all the functions available. getSessionID returns the unique identifier for the current game session, useful for correlating log data across multiple runs or multiple players. isLoggerReady returns a Boolean you can check at any point to confirm the subsystem is initialized and ready to write. Then we have all our logging functions. For primitive data types, we can log bool, byte, float, int64, name, string, and text. For complex data types, we can log structs of any blueprint type, arrays of any type, maps, and JSON objects directly. And finally, log message for simple human-readable text with a severity level. Now let's demonstrate the log message node. Search for log message and connect it after the delay. Set the level to info and type a message. Chain another log message node. This time, warning, then error. And finally, custom. When you select this level, a custom label field appears where you type your own level name. This lets you define levels beyond the 3 built-in ones. I'll use Combat here. All 4 fire in sequence. Info in white, warning in yellow, error in red, and our custom combat label. And in the output file, 4 clean JSON lines, each with the correct level field, timestamp, and session ID. Now let's look at logging complex data types. I've set up 3 examples here. First is log array. This accepts any blueprint array. Here, I'm passing in an array of vectors. The entire array gets serialized as a JSON array, with each vector as an object containing X, Y, and Z fields. Next is log map. This accepts any blueprint map. Here, I have a string to vector map. Each key value pair gets serialized into the JSON output with the string keys as field names and the vector values as nested objects. And finally, log struct. Here, I'm passing in a transform, which contains location, rotation, and scale. Every field in the struct gets serialized automatically using Unreal's reflection system. No manual field mapping, no boilerplate. It just works for any struct. All 3 fire together, and in the output file, each entry has a data field with the fully serialized payload. The vector array, the string vector map, and the complete transform are all there exactly as defined in Blueprint. Any data structure in your game can be logged with a single node. If you want to learn more, the full documentation is available at the link in the description. It covers all the Blueprint nodes, installation steps, and configuration options. And if you'd like to add Session Logger to your project, you can find it on the Fab Marketplace, also linked in the description. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below.